And I think it starts contributing. So all of these, I think, are pieces that are very usable. Because if you have that strength in this area, you can do this here, you can do something else there as well. And the reality is that unless we are clear what are everybody else's strengths, we're not going to change the weaknesses. What we use to change the weaknesses are people's strengths. And so sometimes we focus so much on what's your problem. I can make a very good list of problems, but what I really need is a list of strengths, because that's what's going to help me put the weaknesses. And so I think that this is something that I can see clearly why it would have some positive impact on people. And then, of course, there is all the other part of science that talks about all of the biochemical changes in the brain, the endorphins and all that. There is a lot of discussion exactly as to what is what. But it is true that it may eventually create another circuit by which people can find satisfaction and pleasure in other activities as well. So there are many different mechanisms of action. But I think running that doesn't require a lot of other things except, running shoes and that internal strength. And so I think that is an ideal activity. And frankly, when the first time that Randy talked about this, I thought, what a good idea. Those were some of the things that I wanted to highlight. The second thing is that that mental and physical toughness of making yourself keep doing it even though it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I think you also run at what I consider indecent hours. And that is mental toughness. You really require that. But there is also physical toughness. And running 10 miles requires that as well. And again, a lot of times, probably the people you work with would not describe themselves as strong. But they have a lot of strengths. And so, again, those would be things that can be used, and maybe this part of it. But also, I think you run as a group. And so then you have the notion of a team. No matter what, track and field is always a team sport. Even the people who compete individually train as a team. It's very hard to train alone. So having the notion of belonging to a team, caring for the others, making sure that everybody can do this. All of these are opportunities inside the running group. And to receive support, but to give support. And you know that people really get the most once they are the ones giving support to others. And so I think that this is an opportunity to actually encourage this kind of environment within the group, so that people are accountable and helpful with each other. I think that's actually something that you can do that's great for the mental health of the people you're working with. Now, associated with this is, so what is the role of the volunteer? What is your role in making sure that this experience is as positive as it could be? And sometimes, I guess I'm trying to figure out the nicest way of saying it. I think that what's very important is that you don't want it more than they do. That is the goal of this person staying with the program and eventually cleaning their life is not more of a goal of yours than of theirs, because that leads to unbelievable frustration. So you can provide an environment and you can help and encourage, but success is doing this. Not necessarily the outcome of it. This person has made it, this person doesn't, so this is a failure, this is a success. Success is the program, and success is showing up every day. The continuity, the message that, people who have a problem with addiction, and I assume is the majority of the people in the group, people who have a problem with addictions lie to themselves. So of course, they're going to lie to others. But it starts with lying to themselves. And so sometimes it's very hard to deal because you think, after all I do, and this person didn't trust me or respect me. No, they don't respect themselves. It is not something they do to you, something they actually do to themselves. And when it causes a lot of frustration is because your goals are like, well, I think I know what's good for you, and and I want you to do this. But that would be a great goal if they had your resources. You can never set a goal as to what is that would be good for you. I don't know what your resources are. And it cannot be my goal, it's got to be yours. So, but what is great is saying, this is possible, you can do it if you want, and I will be here to help. But I think respecting the person and supporting the person, separating that from the behavior. When saying this person is an addict, this person is someone who has an addiction problem. I so much wish that we, even though it's a longer sentence, that we use those. Because otherwise, we define the person by an action. And frankly, we are all capable of really bad actions at one point or another. It's just that hopefully that doesn't define us. So you are a very good person who might have made some pretty stupid and some pretty bad